Alrighty, it is time for Yu-Gi-Oh! Action once again, and this time it's Pegasus starting his Battle City run. Pegasus's deck won the impromptu Seal of Orichalcos tournament, so I think Pegasus deserves its spotlight and to have a run. So, as with all the Battle City contestant runs that we've done, we will start with Strings, who was the worst performing duelist in the Battle City season that we had on the channel. That's an okay start for starting hand. Toon Goblin attack force, so that does go into defense mode if it attacks. So Pegasus has kicked off his campaign. Now Strings looking to counter the Toon Goblin attack force. It's not something that Strings can probably handle, although it will go to defense mode if it does attack. And Toon Kingdom from Pegasus, so he will ditch 3 cards, but Toon Kingdom is very useful. And oh, he's gone for the Toon Dark Magician Girl. He's got Dark Magician regular in his hand, but with the Tribute of Goblin attack force, so this is going to be the issue that a lot of the Battle City decks encounter when playing Pegasus. Pegasus's ability to attack directly with the effect of the Toons, a lot of the Battle City decks don't have a countermeasure for that ability, so Toon Dark Magician Girl is going to be able to attack twice here with the effect of that Toon, what's it called? Toon Roll or something. But it allows them to attack twice. Alright, over to comments. Has been a few days. SCH292 says, remember boys, when comes to Seal of Orichalcos, if you lose this duel, you lose your soul. Also, do you guys think Pegasus's deck will be too OP for Battle City if Spirit Barrier is added in? While you control a monster, you take no battle damage. The idea that is if Pegasus managed to set up Toon Defense and Spirit Barrier, he can make enemy monsters attack him directly, and because he controls a monster, he will take no battle damage. I could probably add that card in if he was going up against a GX error or something like that. It's probably a GX. Pegasus does have a couple of GX error Toons. I think there's only 2. One of them's Cyber Dragon, and the other one is Toon Ancient Gear Golem, which none of them are breakingly powerful. Battle City decks will still be able to get them off the field. Like the effect of Cyber Dragon isn't unknown to the Battle City world. After all, the Fiend Mega Cyber was in that, and that's a 2200 that can summon itself. I think that needs 2 extra monsters from your opponent though, but well, this first one's over. Pegasus has taken the first win. I mean, nobody loses to Strings. Although, ironically enough, Strings did actually defeat Mai in the Battle City season because Mai bricked 2 of the games. James Grimwood 9685 says, Toon Dark Magician Girl can attack the turn she is summoned for future Pegasus players. She's one of the only ones that can do that. I don't blame our players for missing that because most of the Toons cannot attack the turn they're summoned. So Toon Dark, she did in the last game. She attacked the turn she was summoned, but that's a very text nuance in Dark Magician or Toon Dark Magician Girl's text is almost every other Toon has that written in their text. They can't attack the turn they're summoned. I wonder why it was so different for her. And oh, Ikibio Drakmord. Pegasus drew Toon Goblin attack force again. It won't be able to attack. Kodos Kopos says, I wonder how well Pegasus would fare this Toon deck against the GX characters. We'll get to that at some point. GX, again, is a great series, and Really would like to do videos on it sometime soon as well. Am working on another file and an additional 32 deck slots to because having 32 deck slots on one save game just is not enough for the production that we are trying to do here, as Yugioh Drakmord has destroyed Toon Goblin attack force. So not all of Pegasus's Toons need Toon World on the field. Toon Mermaid does. JK2053 says, personally, I'd like Obelisk in Gurimo's deck, given that he only has 12 other cards in the wiki, some of which don't seem available. But I assume you've replaced them with great difficulty. It wasn't an easy deck to make because, again, like you said, a lot of his cards don't exist. As for the filler cards, I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, but I like many of the warrior and dark monsters you've added. They suit his spells and traps. Rather than Fiend monsters, Shadow Tamer and the warrior monsters makes me think of the anti-Fiend cards. The Charmers are a bit of a surprise, but I guess it's like Shadow Tamer's effect. The Charmers, I added them in because I just did not know what else to add to his deck, but some more Dark Warriors might do as well. Perhaps consider cards that make Earth Rock type tokens like Rockstone Warrior or Blockman. Yeah, that could replace his warrior tokens, as Strings, unbelievably, has got Slifer the Sky Dragon onto the field. Pegasus cannot get anything to the field. And this is a weakness with Pegasus's Toon deck. It is very prone to bricking. And if it bricks, and bricks hard, it basically becomes unplayable. Because Pegasus hasn't got Toon World, he can't get that Toon Mermaid to the field. I mean, it's not going to matter now, not with Slifer the Sky Dragon on the field. Well, that was brutal. Pegasus, wow, 2 games in, oh, that's got to be nearly under 10 minutes. As for Tri-Horned Dragon, are there no strong normal warrior monsters of that era? If not, perhaps as a strong normal Earth Rock monster. Did I put Tri-Horned Dragon in that deck? Maybe. I'd have to review his deck. However, normal warrior monsters of that era. I could tell. Yeah, let's have a look. Normal, search for attack. Now, the Blue Eyes White Dragon is still technically the strongest normal monster at 3000. No other monster has 3000 attack. Normal monster, that is. So the strongest normal warrior monster by this game's standards, remember this game is dated by about 6 years, it is, well, you said Earth or Rock monster. Big Koalas are 2700. Sengenjin is probable. He's a Beast Warrior. He's 2750. As Pegasus has Toon Kingdom first up here. He's got Toon Gemini Elf as well, which is also a pretty good card. The strongest, there we go, Elemental Hero Neos is the strongest warrior normal monster. That's a warrior. What is second? Gaia the Fierce Knight. In terms of normal monsters, Gaia the Fierce Knight is actually the second strongest warrior monster, which is quite surprising, actually. And the rest of the comments were all... Oh no, there is one more for Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. Emperor Pikachu says, Taya should have won both matches with those attack points, but the Toons are awesome. That was the Pegasus and Taya Seal of Orichalcos. I think that might have been the semi-final. But Pegasus's Toon deck is actually very fun. It's fun to watch. It's strategically, it's nothing special, but it's still fun. So the effect of Toon Gemini Elf. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, discard one random card from your opponent's hand, and it is Slifer the Sky Dragon. Pegasus, in theory, he could actually... He could bring that back with Mimicat. Oh, no, don't do it now. Ah, no. Ah, damn. I've gone for Slifer. Maybe unknowing. Slifer will only stay on the turn, or stay on the field for one turn if it's special summoned. That is the downside to the Egyptian God cards, is that if they are special summoned, they will leave the field at the end of the turn. However, Strings' only good monster. He'll struggle to get over 1900. He'd need Humanoid Wormdrake. But Gemini off, it's going to sit there and keep attacking directly. It's going to be very tough for Strings to win against his Toon deck. This is from a live stream of Final Fantasy XII. Yes, I grew to level 99 at near the very start of Final Fantasy XII. Funky Dirk said, "Sad I missed this morning. I'm finally caught up and ready to talk about WrestleMania and Raw. WWE is a hot product right now." Although I was flicking through YouTube and the WCW channel uploaded a match of DDP and Sting. I used to have that match on VHS. It was that match and it was Sting versus Ric Flair. It was, we're talking 90s VHS that didn't store a lot of data. But that match between Sting and DDP, it was on a random episode of Monday Nitro. It was for the World Heavyweight title. And that match was an absolute classic and a half. Like, oh, it was awesome. And there's like, everything they did in that, nothing looked rehearsed. It looked like they were both just winging it. And it was just such a good match because they didn't know what the other one was going to do. They were both winging it, and it just seemed a lot more natural as Strings has just activated Remove Trap. And it's looking like Stringsy might be done here. Because Strings, he's just flipped up Amoeba. I believe Strings is just showing us possibly what cards he has. It looks like Strings may have just given up. There's another Mimicat. Because Strings, I mean, it doesn't matter if Strings' monsters are in attack mode. He's going to run out of life points in no turns. There's Toon Rollback. There's Comic Hand. Pegasus just has every advantage here. Now, he could have taken Amoeba. That would have actually activated a life point damage effect. But Slifer the Sky Dragon at 4,000. Pegasus has control of the Egyptian god. And Strings is cooked. Well, Pegasus is off to a good start. He has picked up a victory. His next match is against Loomis and Umbra, who, again, are not a very good deck. Surprisingly, but nah, there. It should be another easy win for Pegasus, but the opponents will get progressively harder. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and thanks for leaving the comments as well. Wherever you're in the world, stay safe, take care, farewell.